And real nice guy, and he didn't want to stay up in the dressing room. He wanted to hang out in the lobby with the rest of us because we still had a couple hours before we were going to open the doors. And so we're just all leaning up against the bar, and he comes down there in a blue suit, and he's like shaking hands with all of us, saying hi to us. And he just leaned up against the counter, and we're asking him, so are you pretty excited about doing your show? And he's like, oh, yeah. And so some of the bartenders were just kind of asking him about how his career is going and that. And he mentioned to us that he's already being offered his own television show, and it's in the works. And he
Fox
said,
Network, right?
Yeah, and
Yep.
he said it was going to be a show about how he gets his material. He would go through certain situations on the show, and then at the end of each episode, he would do his stand-up on it.
Right.
And
so this is the Seinfeld show that we know
yeah,
today. We've all seen it.
And we're getting to hear about it before it was even
Right.
being planned out. And our bartender just asked him, he goes, so what are you going to name this show? And he goes, oh, we're just thinking of just calling it the Jerry Seinfeld Show. And leaning against the bar like this. I'm sitting right next to him.
Right, I'm Seinfeld.
And yeah, he's
Well,
Seinfeld.
we're thinking about calling it, the Jerry
And-
Seinfeld Show.
Yeah, and
Jerry
I was just
Seinfeld
sitting there
show.
thinking, and I go, you know something that's really interesting, I happen to notice this, but it seems like whenever a celebrity has their own television show and they name it after their full name, like the Bill Cosby Show, and then there was the Jerry Stiller Show, the shows always seem to bomb. And they don't even last a year.
Right. We had the Bill Cosby Show. That
And I go, but when they name their show just after their last name, the show becomes a mega hit. I go, like, look at the Cosby Show.
right. When it was the Bill Cosby Show, nothing.
Yeah,
Right? But all of a
it
sudden, the
didn't
Cosby
even
Show,
it didn't even last a year, and then down the road he does the Cosby Show,
Right,
and it's a
becomes
huge, hit, lasting for 10 seasons.
Right.
And I go, it seems to happen to a lot of celebrities. And then I just stopped right there, and Jerry sitting right next to me, he didn't look at me, he just kept doing this.
Yeah.
And all he said to me was, you know, that was a very interesting observation. And then that was the only words he said to me. And then he went up in the dressing room, and we opened the doors, packed the place, put on a great show.
Yep.
And
a little while down the road,
yeah, and
here
then,
comes the show.
And then months down the road, I'm telling people, yeah, I got to meet Jerry Seinfeld. It was really nice. And watching television one evening, all of a sudden it's like there's this commercial. It's Jerry Seinfeld. He's coming to Fox. He's getting his own sitcom television. This fall, see Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my chair and I'm like, I think I influenced that.
Of course, we'll never know.
I'll never know.
He'll
I'll
probably never admit to it.
Probably never get the chance to meet Jerry Seinfeld again. And even if I do, he probably won't even remember if we had that conversation. And I'll never get to know was it the network who decided on that, or was it Jerry who got spooked by what I said? Who knows?
Never know. So,
But that's kind of like my little claim to fame. I think so.
so you may have named the Seinfeld Show.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. Well, Ron, we're getting to the end of our time here. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we've got Cheryl Brown. Cheryl Brown, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back.
I saw you standing at the gates when Marlon Brando passed away. You had that look upon your face,
Just look at the camera. All right.
Again. We're being photographed right now.
It's awesome.
Represent your hood, dog. With BA. It's good. Jersey. Be on TV. It's what's happening.